Welcome to episode 7 of the Vancouver Warriors podcast, back for another weekly edition of the show. It's Tino Farah, it's Marcus Clarich, it's Owen Grant, and gentlemen, elephant in the room. Got to rip the Band-Aid off here. It was a tough conclusion to the Olympics for specifically Canadian hockey fans. Last week on Thursday, the women fell against the Americans in the gold medal game 2-1 in overtime, and then just a few days later, the men fell also in overtime 2-1 the final score to the Americans. We are a silver medal hockey country now for the next 4 years. So let's just get this out of the way early on. Did you guys get a chance to watch it? Did you guys wake up on time? What were your reactions to the result in the game overall?
Yeah, it made me sick. Made me sick. I
don't
watched
want
it.
to talk about it.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk about it. No, I watched it. I mean, just complete domination. But unfortunately, their goalie played the best game potentially of his life, and that's the way it goes. Yeah, it killed me. I watched at my buddy's house, and we were all fired up, and then just I could barely watch the medal ceremonies. Seeing Nathan McKinnon though with that stuffed animal, that killed me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't go after the guy handing them out, but yeah, I watched it and I wasn't too happy that I did, I guess.
We were watching. We had a big crew of us in the arena here at the sports bar, so that was honestly the vibes and the energy were electric for the whole game. And then once it got to overtime, I realized it was 3-on-3. I wanted to walk out then. I should have.
That's so crazy.
I probably should have.
How do you do the whole playoffs and Stanley Cup 5-on-5 overtimes, but not a gold medal game?
I agree with you. It's just like the IOC and the the IIHF, they're full of these weird rules. Like even in 2022, when the American women, I think it was 2022, when they won the gold medal, or it might have been the Olympics before that, it came down to a shootout in the gold medal game. And even that, it's like, I think even the Americans in that sense were saying super gimmicky, like it's super weird. I know World Juniors in the past have come down to a shootout to decide it.
Do we know what would have happened if the 20 minutes went past? Does it go to shootout or is it again?
That I don't know. Yeah. I would like to hope at the very least that it would be continuous.
Yes.
But I mean, at that point, I think we were all just like waiting to see. Yeah. Like I don't think anybody expected 3-on-3 overtime to go that far.
Well, I didn't even know it was 3-on-3 until it was mentioned. I thought that was just for the group games.
Yeah, I don't think anybody realized
I was mind boggled.
I think it feels safe to say that everybody in the country, maybe everyone in America as well, seeing the announcement of 3-on-3, I think everybody's jaw kind of dropped.
Yeah.
And there's no arguing that it was like really exciting. I think everybody is just in agreement though that
I'd rather see 5-on-5.
You'd rather see 5-on-5. Yeah. But
hey, no excuses. No excuses.
The better goaltender
We're still
won.
better at hockey.
All right, well, with this being the Vancouver Warriors podcast, we got to talk about the Vancouver Warriors, and you guys got back to your winning ways with a big 11-9 win over Buffalo. There's a few different talking points that we can go through with this game, but firstly, I want to talk about the second quarter because that was a stretch where you guys had gone up 5-1, and then Buffalo puts together this 6-goal run in their own right, and they wind up, of course, tying the game, taking the lead. I want to ask you guys, was that stretch, do you think, a result of the team kind of beating yourselves a little bit, or do you think that falls more on Buffalo figuring something out as the game went on?
A little bit of both, right? I think we made some mistakes and let a really good team, really capable team, capitalize on them. Defensively, I don't think we were getting on the floor fast enough, and I think offensively we weren't getting off the floor fast enough. So you put those two together against a team that we knew going into the game wanted to run and get up the floor. They put up 6 quick, and we were, we had to take a step back and look at some tape in the room in between the halves there, but we're able to adjust thankfully and settle in. But we came out hot in the first, which was nice. We wanted to jump on them, and then just let our foot off the gas. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, Owen said it, but they're a phenomenal team, right? They three-peated for a reason, and you give them an inch of space, and they're going to make you pay. And he mentioned that defensively not getting on the floor fast enough. Offensively, I know for sure one I want back, and a couple other guys probably, of getting off the floor fast enough. And that's just the little things. That's one of our staples is beating their guys to the bench and getting on the floor as quick as we can. And there's a couple instances where maybe we let down a little bit on that department. So we just got to be better and more thorough throughout the game always.
During his post-game interview, Delbs went on to say, I got the quote down here specifically in regards to the defensive group's response after halftime. He said, "It was never a doubt with that group. Obviously, there's emotions that come with that, but it's typical for them to just figure it out and lock it down." So, OG, maybe you can take us inside the dressing room a little bit there at halftime. He talks about the emotion of the group. Like, what are those emotions and what were the conversations like?
Yeah, I mean, I think even going into halftime, like we felt like we were playing good 5-on-5 defense. We need to work on our transition defense, obviously, and we addressed that. But, one of the big things was we needed to finish possessions. We needed to box out on shots and, finish shot clocks. Like I think we were getting up the floor a little too quickly at times. I know I had one. I know some other guys had some that, we wanted to get up the floor and we didn't finish the possession, and then ball squirts out and it's in the back of our net, and those added up in those 6 goals. So, everyone was just a little worked up at halftime, right? Everyone's frustrated that we just gave up that big swing. So we knew we had to come out and settle in the third, and we were able to do that, thankfully. But yeah, I think he's just talking about that, the emotions got a little high, and we had to just kind of calm ourselves down and like trust that we were going to get back to what we know we can play like.
From an outsider's perspective, it did very much feel or look like it was a playoff atmosphere. And you guys have now had, over the past couple of seasons, some really big games against that same Buffalo team. So considering last week we were talking a lot about the rivalries in the National Lacrosse League, is Vancouver and Buffalo becoming a bit of a rivalry here now?
I think you could say that. I think it's just two teams that are, every time they face off, it's 100% every single time, every single shift, and we're just sort of going at it. Like I said, they have a great team. We believe in ourselves a lot, and we have, like you said, we have a lot of good battles, and it's really fun to get up for those games.
I think one of the things that makes our games so heated too is when I think back over the last 3 years, I don't think we've played them in the first half of the season. I think all of our matchups have been in the second half, and anyone that follows the NLL knows that once you hit that halfway point, like it feels like you're already playing playoff lacrosse. Like it's every game matters so much. Our standings are so tight. You drop one game, even if it's in March, you might miss the playoffs. So I think that adds to it.
Reed Bowering, during that game, picked up his 700th career at loose ball. And I want to ask you guys about his development specifically as a defender. We're all aware of the records that he was setting, or his numbers over at Drexel University and what he does in the PLL. Like, very offensively gifted player as well. But here in the NLL with the Warriors, he's mostly a defender, getting the occasional offensive shift this season as well. But this season specifically, I think he's just been outstanding on the back end and been getting a lot of key defensive matchups as well. He's not being sheltered in that defensive role whatsoever. He's also currently leading the team in block shots and loose balls. Do you think that he gets talked enough about in the lacrosse world, but also in the group of defenders in the NLL? Do you think that Reed Bowering is talked about enough?
I feel like I've been talking a lot, so let's hear from Marcus here.
Yeah,
and then
definitely not. No chance. He's a stud. Like, what a player. You mentioned the loose ball stat, and like, I know we are talking about his defensive capabilities here, but like, offensively, you see him PLL, you see him when he comes up and plays with us on offense here. He has a good amount of shifts. Like, whenever he has the legs, he comes up and plays some O, and it's sort of just like we all talk about it as an O group, and we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Like, he's gonna set a pick, and he's probably gonna get open, and his hands are gross too. He's a phenomenal player defensively. I mean, he just never. I'm never like amazed. Like, I'm always just like, oh my God, this guy does this every single time. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I think he's going to keep going for a lot of years to come.
OG, how much does he mean to this group?
Oh, he means a ton. Like, I don't know how he flies under the radar. He definitely doesn't fly under the radar to us. Like, I can think of 7 times a game, that I just look at T-Rich, like our goalie coach, and I'm just like, I'm not coming out of that corner with that loose ball, but Reeder will. Like, he's just so well-rounded. He can do everything. He plays such a calm brand of lacrosse too. Like, he always just looks in control, and I've loved playing with him the last few years, and I can't wait to keep playing with him.
Curtis Dixon is a guy that has gotten a lot of airtime on this show, I think would be fair to say. And he had a massive bounce back after he was held to just 1 assist versus Saskatchewan. He bounces back against Buffalo, puts up 4 goals and 2 assists and some timely goals as well. I look back to his 3rd goal of the game, which at the time made it 9-7. Maybe one of the nicest shots I've ever seen in my time watching the sport. And it was really funny. The camera panned over to him on the bench, and Steph Charbonneau standing right beside him, had a really funny looking reaction to it. I think you could kind of hear him just mouth like, "Oh my God." And then it pans over to the Buffalo bench, and you see Mitch Desnew, who is the defender, who was just slightly away from him. Yeah. And you see him staring up at the board, and you see his coach kind of like saying something to him, and Mitch Desnew just points up at the replay and was like, "What am I supposed to do here?" kind of thing. He also had his last goal of the game coming in just the dying seconds, just iced the game. What can you say about his ability to bounce back? Like, he is obviously such a key cog in this overall Warriors machine. Talk specifically about his 3rd goal of the game, that one that went bar down.
So
how many posts did that thing hit?
I didn't even see it. I was setting like an up pick, and I swear to you, I heard like a ding, and then everybody go nuts. I looked back, and the ball's like right in front of me. I'm like, what the heck just happened? I looked at the replay. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, he is just so clutch, and just like, I mean, he does this. It feels like he does it every week. If I look at the stat line after the game, I see that he has 5 goals. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. He could do it every game, and I won't be surprised. And the best part about this is he's probably the best off-ball player in the NLL as well. Like, he doesn't need the ball in his stick. Getting through guys or in a 2-man game, like, he sets the perfect picks, and it's just, I've missed him so many times because he takes a little bit longer to get open, but like, he always gets open. And I get antsy, and then he's like, just hold on to it for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I got to remember that. But he's so good at it, and yeah, I'm just not surprised anymore at all. I've officially seen him do most things.
I want to ask you guys now about some of the different personalities on the team within the group that the fans don't necessarily get as much direct access to as they do with the two of you and the other group of guys that are pretty typically interviewed post-game, pre-game at practices and stuff like that. Who comes to mind when I ask you about maybe a personality that hasn't been brought out to the fans as much, but you would like to see brought out to the fans?
Reed. You're just talking about.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get Reed though.
No, you're not gonna get Reed.
He'll hide from the cameras as long as it takes.
Yeah,
he's just a quiet guy. He's an awesome dude though.
Yeah. I think he's came out of his shell a little bit more this year. Like, he's just, man, he's so funny, but he's so quiet. Like, you don't expect the things. Like, when he's funny, you don't expect him to say it, and then he says it, and everybody looks around and just starts dying.
Yeah, I would say, like, it's no shocker, like, Dilksy. Like, I don't think people, like, fans or anyone that hasn't played with him, I don't think you'd be able to understand how funny that guy is. I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever been around.
Dilksy's hilarious. Marty, always, all time.
Yeah, we got some good characters on our team.
We have some great characters on our team. I mean, there's definitely not a shortage of laughs in our locker room.
It might be time for you guys to start working on some of those guys and get them on the show.
Yeah, we'll get working.
Coming up for future episodes. Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of the future now, you guys and the rest of the team are going to be on probably the toughest stretch of your regular season so far. And, of course, that's not including playoffs, because you have a doubleheader coming up this weekend. You have Vegas on Friday and San Diego on Sunday, both on the road. But then you have a short week to follow, because then you guys have Toronto just 5 days later. In a stretch like this, when you have as many games as you do in such a tight window, how does your preparation, specifically with your body, how does that change in a stretch like this? Obviously, you guys are really good about watching your clips and preparing on tape and everything, but in terms of the physical side of things, how do things change a little bit here?
Yeah, I think a lot of things, right? I would say a big one, like, for, like, training, like, we lifted this morning, but we lifted heavy, but I don't think I'll touch another weight between now and, like, that first game this weekend. It'll be more mobility and just focusing on, hydration and nutrition and then sleep. Like, those are the 3 big things. So just kind of getting your body and your mind ready for the grind, because that quick turnaround between Friday night and Sunday, and it unfortunately, you don't want to talk about Sunday. You want to just focus on Friday, but, whatever you do these next few days is going to affect Sunday as well.
Yeah, I'm the same. Definitely tomorrow morning, just do some mobility stuff, maybe get some shots up, and then watch what I eat, get some good sleep, and make sure I eat well at the airport because, there's not many, I would say, amazing options. So just try and do your best with that. And as sort of Owen mentioned, you don't want to think about Sunday, but it's hard not to when these are 2 season series. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, where both games mean so much, and they will later in the standings. So just sort of try and get prepared in every aspect and get ready to go this weekend.
All right. Well, as mentioned, you guys are in Vegas on Friday. Excuse me. It'll be the second meeting of the season, like you just mentioned. That'll be at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then on Sunday, you guys make your way over to San Diego. Also, the second meeting of the season, that'll be on at 3 p.m. Pacific. And you can catch all of those games on NLL Plus, ESPN Plus, and TSN Plus. Gentlemen, thanks for toughing through the Olympic question. Thanks for stopping by. Marcus, thanks for showing up. And
Tough luck.
Tough luck. As always, we will see you guys on the next one.